everyone, my name is Paul and welcome to another video of the C programming playlist. And in this video, we are going to talk about structures. Okay, so what are structures actually? You guys have heard about integer, float, double, character, okay, unsigned int or something like that. These are the basic data types, correct? These are the basic data types you guys have heard about already. Okay, but what if you need in real life scenario, if you need other than this, like other than this four, then what will you do? So in that scenario, a requirement comes up for a customized data type. Customized data type. Okay. Now, what customized data type is? Okay. For example, let me give you an example. For example, a person. If you want to uh, take a take some data of various persons. So how will you take it? Obviously, you will create some data type called person, and that data type will have its like person's characteristics, like for example, age, okay, height or weight, okay, or its salary, okay. For example, its name. There are various attributes or information you might have. Now, if you take normal data types and if you calculate, like for example, for example, nowadays in our country, what is happening? Let's talk about votes, correct? So, of a voter, if you list of a voter, then how will you create the list of a voter? Okay, you can't create it like okay, voter one will have this one, voter two, voter three, voter four, voter five, six, seven, eight, nine, 10. For example, 10 voters are there in a constituency. Then in one array you will take all the age. Okay, in another array you will take all the names. In another array you will take all the heights, weight. Then obviously there will be mismatch. Like in what index you will match with what index. Correct. So that kind of issue is there, right? And that's why like you cannot use such array combination, okay, to actually execute the program, or you cannot design the system like that. You need something called a person thing that will have all the attributes, okay, and based on that, okay, you will actually do the things. Okay, this person, okay, this person is there, okay, this person's age like this. So this is the structure, this is the way actually you have to structure the data type, and that is how the customized data type concept comes into the picture. Okay, this is called the customized data type. Okay, and to implement that one of the thing is like is structure you need. Okay, you can use structure, you can use union as well. Okay, also as C is not a actually object oriented language, but in case of C++ or Java or Python, okay, all these things you will have something which is called OOPS. Okay, object oriented programming. There you will find a word called class. Class is there, structure is also there. In C++ and Python, structures are also there. Java, I'm not sure, I need to check once. I don't think Java structure will be there, but yeah, class is a common object. It's a basic building block of the entire object oriented programming. So that's the thing. Okay, but in case of C, we are having structures, and we will be talking about that only. Okay, so a structure like a structure is nothing but the combination of various inbuilt data types. Okay, and by using those data types, you can create your own customized data structure. Okay, your own. That means user defined data type, you can say user defined data type or customized data type. Okay, customized data type. Yeah, cool. Now let's talk about the thing. What are the topics we are going to discuss? So we'll be talking about structure declaration. Okay, what is declaration? Sorry, my bad. So what is declaration? Then we will talk about structure, definition. How will you write it? Okay, declaration, then definition, and then how will you create the variable? Okay, so structure, type, variable as well. Okay, all these things we are going to discuss as of now. Later on, we will in the video when it will be we will talk about more and more things. Okay, So now how will you declare it? Okay, so here in this program, you guys can see here like integer stdio. Okay, another one is, for example, like by the way, number four would be also initialization of structure, initialization, then accessing values. Okay, how will you access the values? Okay, and also like how will you manipulate the data? Okay, manipulate structure variables. Okay, structure variables. Okay, so this is the thing. Okay, now let's talk about this code, for example. So here, this is the way you can actually declare the structure. Okay, structure, declaration of structure. Okay, so the dot will not be there, sorry about that. Okay, so yeah, now this struct is nothing but a keyword actually. Okay, this keyword defines that this is the actually this is the structure actually. Okay, now what is this student? Student is nothing but, okay, student is nothing but the tag name of the structure. Okay, student is a user defined data type. No, not like that. Is the tag name of the structure. Okay, student is nothing but yeah. Student is nothing but the tag name of the structure, and these are the variables, like for example character name 20. So this is a string actually. Okay, or character array also we can say. Like we will store the name here, it's integer, roll number, float, marks. This is the way. And inside the main, okay, let's remove this word, it's not needed. So here you can create the variables like this. Okay, if you create the variables like this, then this is the declaration of the structure variable, and this is the declaration of the structure. It this structure, okay, when you write like this is nothing but a template actually. Okay, template of a structure actually. Okay, declaration of a structure or template of a structure you can say. And this is the declaration of the variable actually. Okay, and when you will, this is the initialization part. Now for example, this is the name, roll number and marks. So Mary is the name, 24 25 is the roll number, and 68 is the mark. That's it. This is the initialization of variable. Just like we write, okay, just like we write integer x equal to 10. Similarly, it's a normal variable, right? Similarly, in the same way, we will say that, okay, this one is the initialization of structure variable. Okay, then again declarations. Okay, and this is an, okay, these are the things which you do not need right now. Let's remove that. Okay, let me do one thing. Let me go to a demo code and let me write it down like that. Okay, so if you see here, okay, not this one, let me do one thing. Let me create another value variable. Okay, okay, let me do one thing. Let's remove all these things. Okay. Okay, let's do one thing. Let's write ABC, struct ABC, and here we will write, for example, integer A, then float B, and then, for example, character C. Okay, and now here, what we will do that we will write struct ABC. Okay, okay, and variable one. Now, how will you do that? How will you access the values? Okay, this is the main thing. Okay, variable one dot A equal to 10, for example, and then variable one dot B equal to 91, variable C equal to this, and then we can print all the values like this. Okay, let me run the code. Let me run the code and check. Okay, so here you can see A equal to 10. Okay, one second. Let's do one thing. Okay, let's write backslash n, also this backslash n. Okay, so here you can see A equal to 10, B equal to 98.50, okay, and C equal to Z. Okay, now this is the way you can assign the values and also print the values, correct? So structure, declaration, definition, okay, manipulation, accessing and initialization, all these things are done. Okay, now for example, we have actually another structure. Okay, for example, we are having another structure, and okay, let me do one thing here. Okay, struct For example, ABC var2. Okay, let's do that. And yeah, huh. And now if I write var2 equal to var1, okay, and then if I replace all the things, okay, by 2, and then save it and then run it, if you could see here all the values, like here if I write var2, okay, backslash n, and here if I write var1 backslash n. Okay, so here you can see for var1 all the values are like this, for var2 also all the values are like this. So this is nothing but the initialization in another way. Okay, now how it is happening? So in the normal code base, you can write like this, right? Integer x equal to 10, then integer y, and then y equal to x. You guys write, right? So in the similar way, I have done the same thing here for the structured variables. I have defined it, initialized it, and then again using equal to operator, okay, assignment operator, I have assigned all the values, okay, to the variable 2. That is how, that's it. Okay, this is another thing. Now let's go to this code and try to understand what has been written over here. Okay, so by the way, if you want to know the theme, which theme I'm using, I use actually many themes actually here. If you see, so I am using now GitHub actually, this one. Okay, GitHub Talk. Okay, so there are many there. You guys can check it out and also use whatever likes you. Okay, whatever you like. Okay, so now let's do one thing here. Let's remove this and let's see. Okay, so student character name, integer roll number, and float marks. So this is another way of actually initialization. And as I told you already, right? So str2 and str3. So for str2, so we are having a string.h, so by which like strcpy, that means string copy. So str2 dot name, and then John will be saved into the name one. And like this it has been, and then we can take the input as well. Okay, this is the way we can take the inputs of the structure variables, and all the three values we can print it out like this. Let me run the code, and you guys can see, okay. So enter the name, roll number. For example, name is Pritam, roll number is, for example, 16, and marks, for example, 40. So you guys can see STU1, okay, Mary, STU2, STU3. So that's how we can actually print the values. Okay, now let's talk about this code, for example. Okay, before that, let me talk about like some other topics. Okay, so we can actually declare our structures. Okay, as I was talking, we can declare our variables also in another way, like here also we can do. For example, if I write here variable 1 and variable 2, okay, and then we put the semicolon, and here let me remove all these things. Okay, and also this one also let's remove, and save it and run it. If you see, all the values are coming 0, 0, 0, 0, and as C is a character, it is not taking anything. Okay, so all the values are 0. That, what does it mean? This is called actually, okay, this is called actually global declaration, okay, of the structure variable. And definition, not definition, actually it's a declaration of a structure variable. So we all know that when a global variable has been declared, by default the value will be initialized by 0, and that is how all the zeros are coming here in the code. Okay, so that is another one. Okay, now let me talk about okay, we already have done with the structure declaration. And then using structure tag also we have done it, initialization also we have done it, accessing members also we have done it. That is fine. Assignment operator also we have completed. Okay, now there is a topic like a size of a structure. Okay, so this one actually we will talk about the storage allocation and size of the structure in another video. In this video we are not going to discuss it because at the beginning time I don't think you guys should involve such complex things. It's little bit complex, so I will talk about it in a later video, where like when you guys will be little bit mature enough to understand what I will be talking. Okay, let's remove all these things, and now let me talk about the array of structures. Okay, array of structures. What is the array of structures? Array of structure means what? Array of structure means actually, okay, let me draw it out and like, try to understand what is array of structures. Array of integers means what? Obviously, if I take the array and this is the array, then every element would be actually integer, correct? Now, array of structure means what? Array of structure. Array of integer means all the element will be integer. But if I talk about array of structure, then all the elements will be structure itself, correct? Structure itself. So for now, if you see here, struct student. Okay, this is a student, and for example, I have taken the sizes as different sizes, 3 for example. So here struct student. That means this is a template of a student which you have created. Name, roll number, and marks. Now integer I, and if I take like this. Okay, if I write like this, okay, if you see here in the iPad, like struct student. Okay, for example, STUARR of, for example, 5. Now, what exactly it means? It means it is an array. This entire one, this is an array of 5 elements, which elements are nothing but actually student type structure. Okay, that means like student is actually what is a tag name of the structure. So why we need the tag name? For example, you are having multiple structures. Okay, so if you do not tag, like if you do not use the tag name for them, then how will you identify what structure you are referring to? That's why the tag name is important. So here the tag name is actually student, correct? So obviously this one, okay, this is an array of 5 elements. Which elements are actually struct student? That means all these blocks actually are nothing but one structures. Now inside this structure template, whatever you write, every element will be there. Okay, so we can drag it out, and also we can like say like this. For example, if this is an element, this is a structure. So for example, this is a integer part, this is, and this is name part, this is float marks, and this is, for example, roll number. Okay, so here if it is 20, then 20, like that will be there. Okay, this is the way it would be storing out. Okay, but this is not the actual one actually. We'll talk about it, memory allocation, how it is memory allocation. But yeah, you can say that entirely this part will be a structure. Now inside this part, how it is getting stored, that's a separate topic. Leave it right now as of now. But imagine that, okay, this is the name, this is the marks, and this is the roll number, for example. Okay, and this is the structure, and all these, all like this, all the structures will be in the contiguous memory location like this, and that's how the array of structure will be built up. Okay, now if you see here, here if I write for I equal to 0 I less than 3, we are taking the input and then displaying all the values, like for example this one, if you see. Okay, let's do that. Okay, and let me run this. Okay, so if you see under the name, roll number, and marks, for example, Pritam, roll number is, for example, 16, marks, for example, 40, and the roll number, for example, Anirban. Now enter the roll number, for example, 45, and it is 89. Now another one, for example, Anik. Okay, and roll number, for example, 34, and for example, 100. Okay, so you guys can see Pritam. Okay, it has been printed out everything. Pritam 1640 and Anirban 45, 89, Anik 34 and 100. So this is the way we are printing out. Now, yeah, you guys can see. Okay, so let's do that. 0. For example, 2. Yeah, okay. Once I'm not here, my bad. I'm really sorry. Here 0.2. So obviously 2 decimal will be coming up. That's it. So now, for example, if you want to print, so how we are doing that? That's the first thing. STUARR of I dot name. That is how. So let's come to the iPad and let me show you. Okay, how it is happening. Okay, for example, we are taking three elements. Okay, 3 elements. Okay. So this one is a structure, this one is a structure, this one is a structure. So how it will say STUARR of, obviously this is the 0, this is STUARR of 1, and this is STUARR of 2. So this is the actually element. This is the structure name. 0 means it is pointing to the 0th location. 1 means it's pointing to the first location. As we all know, it's all about pointer actually. How C works using pointer only. So pointer only it is there. Okay, correct. Now this is STU of 0. Then inside that it is having A, B, and C. So how will you say that? That STUARR of 0 dot A dot B dot c. That is the way we have written here. Okay, stur of I dot name. I is varying based on the for loop. That's why we are taking the input and output as well. Okay, and this is all about like array. Okay, array of structures. Now if I talk about array within structure, so it is already there. This is one kind of array which is within the structure, right? So that is how the thing is. Okay, you can write another, like for example, if I let me give the code here for example. Here, okay, you can see sub marks of 4. So how will you do that? Like you can write marks of 4 as well. So all the marks, mathematics, physics, chemistry, bio, all the marks you are stored inside this array, and due by which we can get all the marks here. So this is called array within structure. Okay. So this is the code you can see. So how will you do that? Okay. So for while you are taking the input, you have to take the input for this one as well. So this is the nested for loop. We can't help it. We have to do it like that. And while printing out also, this is another one. Like inside the main for loop, there will be another for loop for the submarks. Okay. So you error of I dot submarks of j. Okay, you get my point, right? So that is how it is. Okay, I will put all these things, all the codes in GitHub repo. Okay, and please try to take all the codes from there, and I hope it will be easier for you to understand. Okay, now let's talk about nested structure. Okay, now nested structure, to understand that one, let's go to this demo code. Okay, so here std.h. So nested structure means what? Let's come to the ipad first. Okay, let me explain here, and after that we will go. So nested means what? Inside if we are writing if statement, inside right again we are writing if statement, that is we are calling nested if else statement, correct? Like that only, right? So like that. Correct. So this is the nested. Nested means once inside one block there would be another block. Correct. Similarly, for the nested structure also the same thing applies. Okay. So if you write, for example, student, okay, struct student, for example, or struct ABC. Let's forget this one. Okay. So integer A, load B, character C, and then again we are writing struct BCD of integer P, float Q, and character R, for example. Okay, so this is how it is called nested structure. Inside this entire structure, the another structure is residing. That is how the nesting is coming up. And the nesting you can do like multiple times. It's not like that only 2 times it will be there. Okay, so here is the example code which will make you understand what exactly the nested structure is and how it works. Okay, so you can see struct student name, roll number, date of birth. So date of birth is something which you can like combine, obviously month, day, and year. Okay, so that is how we have combined here and create the like is that date. It could be anything date. We have given the name as date, the tag name, and the variable name is birthday. Okay, so it could be birthday, it could be anniversary, it could be anything, but the date format would be same. That is the template, correct? So that's how you can use it smartly, right? And float marks as well. And here you can see the implementation. Okay, that's it. Okay, so if I run it, so you can see Pritam, then roll number is 12, date of birth is 25 bar 2000, and then marks is 98.50. That is how the initialization, and that is how it is getting printed out. That's it. Okay, so this is all about nested structures. Okay, so yeah, and now pointer to structure. Okay, pointer to structure, pointer within structure, all these things are there. We will talk about this one in the next video, and then we will talk about pointers, functions, and also how will you pass the structure names as an argument. All these things I will discuss. Okay, and in the part 2 I will try to complete all the concepts of structure which will be getting used in the day-to-day life. Okay, and also you need to understand how will you get that. Okay, so yeah, this much for today, and see you in the next video. In the next part we will talk about some more interesting and very important topics. Actually, without them you cannot implement the raw data structures using C programming. Okay.